Hello, guys. Yes, I got a mic. I'm testing this one. I think it should work because I've noticed that usually when I talk to you guys on here, I just have like a chill talk and I don't think about being loud enough, and that gives me a little bit of problem when I'm editing the videos. So, this is gonna help. By the way, if any of you are looking to get a mic, I will let you know how this works out and then I'll tell you where I bought it from, like which company. I mean, you can probably see it's Sportronics, but don't buy it until I give you a review. Today, as always, I don't know what I'm gonna talk about, but I've just been feeling motivated to talk about things that I am experiencing on my own. I think, like, I had a slight idea of where I want to go with this video, and so basically, I've always sort of believed that it is really, really important for artists to kind of um, take time alone away from like all the distractions so that you can kind of gauge what it is that your heart is calling you to create. For example, for me, I I love to paint and I love to write. That is, I think we've established that by now. But basically, I keep thinking that whenever I give myself some time to be on my own, some time alone, just with myself, just with my thoughts, I'm more inspired to experiment. And I also believe that, meeting new people and going out and experiencing life and traveling and all of that is going to inspire you. But the reason an artist needs solitude, I think, is to build on the awareness that you have about yourself. Because once you are very, very self aware and you understand what helps you create and what doesn't help you create, then the process is a lot more seamless and just a lot more enjoyable in general. Like, if you don't know what gives you that stump, what gives you that rut that you get stuck in your creative process, then it's a lot more difficult to get out of it. When you know what does that for you and what fixes that for you, then you can actually navigate through all of these experiences in a much easier way. Um, I have, I think, always been the kind of person who really, really values their personal space, their space that where I can just be myself and I can just sit with my own thoughts. And it's not just that, it's not just, sitting with your thoughts, it's also understanding who you are to navigate your process in a better way. Um, I've realized that whenever I give myself that solitude, that time to nourish my own thoughts, my own, basically my creativity, I am able to get into a flow of things. I'm able to get into this flow of creating, be it writing, be it painting, be it whatever, but I'm able to get in this flow where I am not stuck with anything. I have the ideas that I want to create. I have the mindset that I want to be in to create these things. And yeah, and you know, when you are in this solitude, when you are sitting alone in your room or at your place or wherever, um, when you are in this solitude where you are trying to get into the flow of things, your environment matters, of course. Like, what kind of a setup are you giving yourself that solitude in? If it's your house, if it's your room, of course, mm, like put it together in a way that it inspires you, but also um, do little things on the daily that will kind of give you, that will take the pressure off of you. So, to write better, I practice writing just whatever for 3 pages, like I mentioned in a previous video. I write stuff for 3 pages in the morning. Yeah, so to practice writing in a more efficient way where I enjoy it more, where it feels more natural, I write 3 pages every morning or like sometimes in the afternoon. If I am not able to get to it in the morning or the afternoon, I would do it at night, but I try to do it every day because those 3 pages, I'm just writing whatever is in my head. And after that, when you've been writing for 3 pages, you kind of get into the flow of writing, but you also get into a flow of thinking, and your thoughts and your creative ideas come a lot more easily. Um, so what happens with me is once I finished my 3 pages, I just start to feel like thoughts are kind of coming more easily. They are kind of coming more naturally. And when I begin to, sometimes what happens is you have this really nice idea, right? But when you try to begin working on that idea, you don't know where to start or where to take it after starting or how to end it, or somewhere in the middle you get stuck. But whenever I do my 3 pages and then I try to write something or work on an idea, I am easily able to kind of go through the whole process of starting the project and finishing it. Like, even if it's just a poem, it's not even like a project, I'm able to like write that poem as if it is just coming to me, as if I don't have to put pressure on my mind to think about what word or what sentence or whatever needs to come next. um I did not know what to talk about for my video today, but again, I did my 3 pages like an hour or so ago, and then I just felt like it would be fine if I just go and sit there and start with whatever that comes to my mind. And I think this is a very important topic to talk about, the solitude that an artist needs to create. Because as an artist, you have so many thoughts, so many ideas, so many things that you want to work on, so many um, projects that you would like to start, so many that you would like to finish before you start new ones. But with that, if you don't have the time to sit and process all the new thoughts, give time to the projects that you're already working on, um, doing justice to them, and then just having time to relax your brain. If you don't have time for all of these things and more, at some point you're going to face exhaustion. If you're an artist who's just outside all the time with other people all the time, it is going to become more difficult for you to navigate your creative process, because you are always experiencing other people's energies. You are never sitting with just your own. And it has been super beneficial for me to practice this solitude, to practice this time alone. Even when I'm traveling, I feel like I need, like, even if it's just 15 minutes a day, I need that time alone by myself. And I always take that time when I travel in the mountains or wherever, not necessarily the mountains. Mountains come to mind because whenever I travel somewhere in the hills or the mountains, it's easier to find a peaceful little spot to sit in by myself and just wonder whatever it is I want to wonder, or write, or draw. And I even got my little drawing book. Somebody gifted this to me when I went to Manali the last time. Um, yeah, so I got this from Old Manali, and it has a little stone in between. It's like a whole cute little diary thing, and I got this to show you today. I've not filled it. Nuh-uh. But this is not something I want to fill up and use as like a validation point for myself. This is something that I will pick up when I just want to let out a little bit of creative energy without putting pressure on myself. I think it's really important for all artists to do that sometimes. Just use that little bit of creative energy, put it out there, do whatever you feel like doing in that little moment so that you can set yourself free and feel that fulfilling feeling that comes after you've completed a little page, without putting all this pressure on yourself that, this is a project that I've started and I've got to do justice to it and I've got to finish it and all of that. So, yeah, this is my little salvation. But I'm going to show you what I've done in here. So, there was this time back in Manali when I was there with my whole team. I was there for work and a holiday. But basically, on our last day, this is turning into a story time, but I guess. On our last day in Manali, we were there for like 7 8 days. On our last day, um, we are at this place where we were staying. We've checked out because we've got to come back to Delhi that day. But that place has a cafe, and we sit there to have breakfast. But then it starts raining like crazy, and we've just returned all of our rental bikes and stuff. And so we're like, you know, okay with it, because for all of these 8 days we've just been walking around, everybody's feet hurt, we are all kind of tired at this point, and we're like, okay, I guess if it's raining and we have this cute cafe to relax at, and we have like 3 or 4 hours before we have to leave, so why not just sit here and chill, you know? um because I mean, it feels nice. And when you travel, you're always kind of running around trying to not miss out on anything. But I think it's really important to take like that, like a little bit of time at the end of a trip to kind of let everything sink in and feel grateful for whatever you've experienced. Even though, like you guys know, or if you don't know, I have lived in Manali for 13 years before I moved out of there. And going back now makes me feel like super nice. And I mean, of course, who wouldn't? But it's like all these memories coming back, and all of that. But yeah, so that time felt really nice, just sitting there watching the rain. The clouds are kind of moving over the hills. We were in log huts, so it's like a little area surrounded by all these hills, and it's all beautiful like all other places in Manali. But basically, it just feels super, super relaxing. So we sit there, there's a dog kind of in a sleepy mood. He's napping on the porch, and he opens his eyes every once in a while to look at us, to kind of just see if we're still there. It's kind of this comforting presence. And me and my friend Aishwarya, we just sit on the stairs and talk and talk and talk. And then um and I love people who understand when I need like some time alone. And I'm so glad and so grateful that all of my friends know that about me and understand that about me. And so in the middle somewhere, they kind of leave me alone because I'm reading my book and I have my little diary. I always have like a book and a pen and a diary and maybe another book on me, like if I for different moods. But I'm just sitting there with all of my stuff, and I think, like, this is so relaxing. And then I look out the window and I see this beautiful hill, sort of um, peeking through like thin clouds, and rain is just pouring, pouring over the entire hill, and it's so beautiful. And now, this was not me trying to make a masterpiece, but I do this little drawing just to remember what it felt like. And so here's what it looks like. I hope you guys can see it. It's yeah. So this is all the little houses. This is Log Huts 24. because it was 2024. These are all the clouds. I just shaded into some clouds. So there's like a mountain back there, but you're not able to see it because it's really like a dense cloud back there, and it's thinning out as it is going down, and there's a little some sort of a bird. I don't remember what it was, but this is what it looked like from my window. And I loved doing this. Like um I loved how it made me feel in that moment, but also how it makes me feel now. Like looking at it, I can instantly remember what it felt like when I was sitting there and doing that. This little drawing, I saw this picture of a girl somewhere, and I just drew it, and there's no story behind it. It's again just me trying to relieve some of that creative energy that I'm feeling, and that is what it looked like. And I really hope that these are in focus. If they're not in focus, I'm going to take pictures and put them in there. But yeah, and then there was this one. It's just like a little mermaid in the water, and there are rays falling. Like, you know how sun rays penetrate the water sometimes. So it's kind of like that. I again don't remember. I think I just again found a picture somewhere and decided to do that. And the rest is just me writing down little things that I feel like would help me in the future. Like if I have a project that I'm working on, I also use this as like a place where I save notes and save inspirations, because I think it's really important to write down things that just pop into your head. Like if you have a project that you're working on and there's something that you see, you don't know where to use it yet, but you think it's a nice idea, just write it down. Even if you're not working on a project and you just have an idea and you don't know how to expand on it yet, just write it down and come back to it later, and maybe then you would know, you know. Um, like I wrote here, expecting joy brings joyfulness. An idea is so much more if pondered upon and put on paper. Write your life, speak it, think it, create it. It's so beautiful outside today. I'm actually kind of blacking out because I'm looking directly into the sun. But I keep remembering that line by Taylor Swift where she's like, I look directly at the sun but never in the mirror. I don't know why it's popping in my head, but it's so pretty. I think I should stop looking at it directly, but it's so pretty. Um, it's like the sun is like up top, like just in the center, and then it's cloudy, but it's not like cold. It's kind of hot today, and I mean, it's hot today. It's like 37 degrees Celsius. Um, but the clouds are kind of covering the sun, and if you know this about like photography or um basically whenever we are shooting outside, we use like a diffuser sort of a thing. It's called a skimmer. It's used to cut the sunlight in a way that it kind of mellows down when it reaches a person's skin or anything, like whatever your subject is, so that it's not like super harsh, and that just gives everything a beautiful glow. And the clouds are kind of acting like that today, and this is the perfect light to shoot anything outdoors, because the clouds are already kind of mellowing the sunshine. And yeah, it looks really pretty. I'm a sucker for pretty things. Anyways, solitude for an artist. I think solitude is your oxygen as an artist. I think if you don't take your time, like if you don't take that time for yourself, you are depriving yourself of so much relaxation, satisfaction, um, a beautiful workflow, and just flow of thoughts in general. You know, there's this book. I read only some of it and a long time ago, but it's called, I think, Letters to a Young Poet. And there are these letters that I think one poet or somebody has written to a poet, and this they talk about solitude in such a real way. They talk about how you need to, I mean, that book is really intense. It's like telling you to shut yourself away from people for a long, long time. But I think a little bit of that is necessary. Like a little bit of solitude is going to kind of give you like a boost almost in your creativity. It's going to give you, it's almost like charging your battery so that you can go on much more efficiently. You see, when the battery is low on anything, like on our phones or whatever, um, it takes more power for the phone to work, and sometimes you would notice that your device is heating because it's low on battery and it's using all its remaining power to give you what you want. And that is kind of how sometimes we make our brains work too. If we are not giving ourselves that time to recharge, and we're just working, 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 and expecting the mind to give us these ideas and give us this workflow that we want, um, it's you are either going to burn out, exhaust yourself, or hinder your process in general. It's going to make you feel like you are tired sometimes. Like that can even make you feel like you don't want to do it anymore. And I think that's a very painful place for an artist when they feel like they don't want to do the thing that they love to do anymore because they're tired. And I mean, when you're tired, you wouldn't want to do anything. Um, I mean, it's so, in a way, it's really easy to understand. Like, when you're tired, you get a little grumpy, you get a little irritated if you have to like still keep working. You're no longer even able to navigate your own emotions, which is supposed to be like a daily task that is very natural for a human to experience and to be able to control. But if you're not even able to control your own emotions, if you're not even able to control and work with your own body, then it's kind of crazy to expect yourself to still continue with the same flow of creativity, the same flow of working through all of your ideas. It's never going to work. And solitude is not just necessary so that you're able to recharge yourself, it is necessary so that you understand yourself better, so that you're able to let in the creative energy, the flow that you receive from in here and in your heart. Everybody's not going to agree with this, but I believe that basically you channel your creativity through the universe, you channel it through energy, and when you're open to it, it comes. And it comes in a very smooth, very almost calming manner. Sometimes there's just this idea in my head all of a sudden, and it feels like I've received it from somewhere. I'm not even, it doesn't feel like, oh, I thought on this and researched it and then created this idea that I'm going to work on. It's just something that came to me, and it is a beautiful feeling. It's a lot more efficient than trying to get the good ideas, trying to get the good um, insights, you should always research, you should always immerse yourself in creative works, in inspiration, in understanding what you want from your creativity, um, what is your style, who you are as an artist. But then it's also necessary to just relax and let things come to you. I think, um, and you can only do that when you sit in your own energy for long enough. So, yeah, I guess that's the message for today. Um, I love talking about art and creativity in general and helping people understand how they can make it so much more enjoyable and how it is not a pressure on yourself to do anything. It's just a matter of understanding the self enough that you can understand the world and what you want from it, and what you want from art, and what you want from your own art, your own practices. And yeah,